Hello, this is Tara Hurt, your instructor for Chem 2, for Summer Chem 2, which is a really quick course. So we have 4 weeks, and you're going to cover Chem 2. Guys, if we were meeting in a classroom, we would be meeting for lecture 4 days a week for 2.5 hours each day. So you need to plan to devote that much time to the course. Also, we would be meeting twice a week for lab, and we would be spending 3 hours each day in lab. So that's a lot of time to devote to the course. So I want you to be ready to do that. What we would do the first day is go over the syllabus. So on Canvas, you can see your syllabus, the same thing I'm looking at here. Let me go through and talk about some of the points of that. I do have my office number there, my room number, but I probably, maybe towards the end of July, I might be found in my office. But the best way to contact me is by email or by messaging me here on the Canvas Messenger. If you're in Chem 2, then everyone has successfully completed Chem 1. And successful completion means you had a grade of C or better. This is a 4 credit hour course, which means you're required at EMCC to take the lab with the course. You will get 1 grade for the course. The required texts. This is an EBook class. So in your tuition, you have already paid for access to a book. You have not paid for access to the lab. Even if we were meeting on campus, you'd still have to buy a lab manual. But since we're having to meet this way, you're going to have to buy access to a virtual lab. You can see that number 2 there. It says Hayden McNeil Virtual Labs. And there's instructions for that in the first module, which we'll look at shortly. How do you access the ebook? If you look on the left of your screen here where it says Red Shelf Course Materials, you have access to your ebook there. You also have access to your ebook on Connect, which I will talk more about that in a minute as well. Okay, your syllabus also has your learning outcomes, and then the grading scale, which is a 10-point grading scale. And then if you look here under grading, it's formatted a little funny as to how I originally typed it on the document, but you will have tests that will total 50% of your grade. Your quizzes and homework counts 10%, and that's Connect. We probably will not have any quizzes in here. We'll just do Connect homework. The labs, which is Hayden McNeil Labs, count 20%. Your final exam is comprehensive and will count 20%. There will not be an opportunity for any makeup exams. This summer course is going to go too fast for that. Your final exam may replace your lowest test grade. Everything graded will be returned to you. It's your responsibility to keep up with grades. Most things are posted here in Canvas, but I do not calculate final averages until they're due. So I expect you guys, you're in Chem 2, you should be able to calculate an average based on those percentages. Attendance is required, and so we will be meeting virtually here on Canvas every Tuesday and Thursday morning at 8 o'clock. That is the normal scheduled time for this class, so you will be expected to attend those virtual meetings. There will be notes, we'll take questions in the virtual meetings, but that's how attendance will be taken. There's some other policies on your syllabus that you can read through, but I want you to pay close attention to the course outline. I'm going to post on Canvas in weekly modules. So you can see the first week, June 29th, today through July 2nd, because we only go Monday through Thursday. And we've got 3 chapters to cover this first week. You will take your test on these 3 chapters. That's what you will do Monday morning, July 6th. So you see the exam, first exam is lined up with July 6th. There will be videos for you to watch for the chapters. We will meet on Tuesday, Thursday. Can you guys see in italics there under each weekly date? It always says Tuesday, 8 a.m., Thursday, 8 a.m., Tuesday, 8 a.m. All meetings are Tuesday, Thursday, except for that last week. And that's because your final exam's on a Thursday. And so what I did first intensive is actually I was available each Wednesday morning at 8 and the final exam date at 8. We'll talk about that when we get there. We don't have to go into that now. But also you have lab assignments each week. The labs are due Thursday at midnight, okay? And you will see the due dates in Connect, which I'm going to show you. In Canvas, I'm sorry, goodness. Let me go through some other class policies here. You can't make up a lab. So if you forget to do the lab by Thursday, I will not reopen it. Y'all, the class is just moving too quickly for that. Homework, same thing. You'll have a week to do each group of homework. And then there's more about Connect there, which I'm going to show y'all in a minute. Now, right now, when I scroll through on this screen recording, these dates at the bottom are not all accurate, obviously, because I'm still in the process of updating our course. But by the time we get ready to start Monday, I'll have that all fixed. I want to show you where your assignments can be found. So I'm going to click on Modules. And again, when you guys click on modules, you're going to see a lot more than what I'm showing here because I'm still in the process of getting this ready for you guys to start Monday. The first thing I want to show y'all about is Connect. And so this Chem 1 review, Chapter 10 gas laws, Chapter 11, and Chapter 13, those are Connect assignments. Notice the due dates for every one of them. Right now it's showing July 2nd. I very likely will move those due dates and give you a little extra time on those, but just be careful on the due dates on Connect. Typically Connect I'll give you till Sunday night on, but I want to show you, some of y'all are familiar with Connect, maybe some of you aren't. But click on Chem 1 Review, for example. You should be able to work this Connect right now. And I'm going to show you in a different tab what this looks like. Yours will look a little different because I'm in an instructor view. There's 33 questions for the Chem 1 Connect. And you'll notice you have 3 attempts for each assignment. So like if I'm entering how many protons, neutrons, and electrons, just to jog our memory, for each one. So I'm going to go through and enter, let's see, 36. And I'm going to be entering numbers, let's see. Oh, it's sad. What's 85 minus 38? Okay. Okay, when I enter, and I'm going to enter a wrong one there, okay? So I've entered all my answers, and I'm going to click check my work. And it tells me which one I missed, okay? And you notice when I do that I'm now down to 2 attempts, okay? So I know which one I need to go in and fix. And it's this one. Okay, so now I have that question correct. If it takes me 2 tries to do a question, I still get the same points, okay? You don't lose points if it takes multiple tries. I want to caution you on some of these because like here, if I don't know how to work a problem, I'm going to click on the right-hand side where it says solution. And there's a pop-up box. You need to read that. Don't just say, yes, show me. Because it says, are you sure you want to see the solution? If you choose yes, you'll see the solution and you give up attempts. So, in other words, if I look at the solution to this, it means I don't get to work this question. I don't get the points for this question. Okay? There are some questions that I'm going to try to just jump to one and see that if it's a calculating question, it might, let's see. Like if I, on some of them, if I click solution, it will show me how to work that question, and then it will give me a new question to work. Okay, so it's not always going to make me lose all the points, but you'll just have to, it depends on what the question is, how that works, y'all. So also with Connect, this is set up to where when you get ready to do the Chem 1 review, okay, it's 33 questions. There's no time limit on this. You have until the due date to complete it, and it saves your work as you work on it. So you do not have to, when I'm ready to work on this, I have to do all 33 questions at one sitting. No. Obviously, we've entered the answer here for question 1. If I log out and come back into it, then it'll save my work that I've worked on, and I can just pick up from there. Also, and this is going to be hard to do in summer because the course moves so quickly, but if you submit this assignment, and let's say you just have a bad day, whatever, and you make a 50 on it, as long as it's before the due date, you can redo this assignment and I will take your highest score, okay? But you have to submit it and you get the same retry. You have to complete all the questions. You don't get to just rework the ones you missed. You have to do all of them. But you can work it as many times as you want before the due date, okay? And we'll talk more about Connect and questions you might have tomorrow morning when we meet virtually. The other thing I wanted to point out to y'all is, let's see, your Hayden McNeil, your labs, your virtual labs. And so in Module 1, you'll see that about halfway through the module right now, it says Hayden McNeil Virtual Lab Registration. Okay. So to register for that, these are instructions on how you purchase it and everything. That's the website. In number 1, follow the steps. There in step 4, it tells you the name of our course for you to register on. Okay, so I'm going to go there. Okay, and these are your labs that you have to do, intro to lab simulations, and you'll know what labs are due because here it is on Canvas. You see it lists lab 1, 2, 3, 4. That tells you what 4 you have to do the first week. The intro to lab simulations, lab skills, Avogadro's law, and Boyle's law. So for intro to lab simulations, the little blue book is the actual background about the lab. Okay, so you would click on that. This is for any lab, guys. And you just read through. You can print this off if you want, but it's just telling you how this is going to work in a virtual lab, how you get stuff off the shelf, whether it's materials or some kind of glassware or an instrument you need, how to navigate the lab. And then if you see at the bottom, there's a little gray arrow, so I can go to the next page. And it tells me about opening the experiment. So that big blue box is my window for the lab. The procedure is here, and it's a good idea maybe to have 2 different tabs open. So if, like, you can see me here, if I wanted to, I've got to put on, every time you've got to put on your goggles, lab coat, and gloves, okay? So I'm going into the lab here, and my other tab at the top is where my instructions are, okay? And so, I mean, this is just how you navigate the two of those, and you're clicking and you're dragging stuff and you're weighing it. How you do this, I prefer to record things. Like, do you see how that beaker there weighs 210 grams? I prefer to record that on a piece of paper. I don't like recording it on the computer or anything, but you do what's comfortable to you. I'm not going to grade any kind of notes, any lab notes. What I'm going to grade, you'd follow all the procedures. What I'm going to grade is, well, shucks. And again, yours is going to look a little different from mine. But once you finish the lab and you've recorded everything, do you see that little orange check mark that says MC, Intro to Virtual Lab? Well, that's what I want to do. I want to grade the multiple choice questions that you guys take. And so on these questions, you're just going to have one attempt. So you can do the lab as many times as you want. And by that, I mean, like this stuff here, you can do this over and over. You can like a 400 ml beaker should weigh 210 grams every time, okay? So you can do that as much as you want. But the multiple choice questions, you can only answer those one time, okay? So be sure you, sometimes it's good to run through the lab twice so that you're sure you have the same answers both times. So that's a little bit about the lab. What else do I need to tell y'all? I wanted to go through the EBook stuff with you. Like if I click on Red Shelf Course Materials on Canvas, this is how you guys would go in to access your EBook. And since the course isn't live yet, you can't see what you should see on this, but here's one way to do your EBook. Another way to access your EBook is via Connect. And let's talk, how do we get to Connect? Those first 4 assignments there are Connect assignments. So if you just click on one of those, it'll take you to Connect, okay? When you're in Connect, see the library tab at the top? I'm gonna click on that. And do you see right under library, it says EBook? That's another way to access your EBook, okay? So there's 2 ways. It's either through the Red Shelf link on Canvas or use the library tab on Connect. That's 2 ways to access the EBook. I know this seems like a lot, and guys, you can watch it again because sometimes you don't realize what questions you have until you get going. So, assignments, the whole week's assignments are posted there in a module. Connect assignments, go ahead and play with that. You can work every question 3 times. If you submit the assignment, you can redo Connect. I will take your highest score. So you can work Connect as much as you want, as long as it's before the due date. The labs, you can work the lab procedure as many times as you want, but you can only do the multiple choice questions 1 time, okay? Your grade for the Connect will automatically go into Canvas. Your grade for the lab, I'm gonna have to enter it into Canvas. So the lab will show you what you made, but the grade won't show up until after it's due when I enter it in, okay? And we'll get used to that more as once the first week's through. So what I want you guys to do today is there's some chapter 10 videos and chapter 11 videos that will be posted here in this first module. I want you guys to watch those videos on chapter 10 and chapter 11. Once you watch those, see, you're ready to start working the Chem 1 review, the gas laws, and the chapter 11 Connect. We'll meet Tuesday morning at 8 a.m. and we'll introduce ourselves to one another, see what questions y'all have about anything I've said today, and then we'll start chapter 13 lecture in the morning. And I believe I had a list of things I wanted to tell y'all. And I've told you a lot in this video. I think I've said everything. But I'm looking forward to meeting you guys in the morning. The way we will meet virtually is here on Canvas. Do you see on the left side where it says conferences? Okay. You'll get an email inviting you to the conference in the morning. And this is where we will meet virtually. It will not be, there's no camera when we meet. It's just voices. So come as you are. But we will meet at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. And I'll look forward to meeting you guys then.